What's up? What's good? What's up, Trombone? Trombone, oh my goodness, how are you? How are you? Are you okay? Why is no song playing? Song is definitely playing. Why no song playing? Tuna? Tuna, why? Alright, well, I guess Tuna's broken. That's very sad. I'm sad for Tuna. I am selected the headset. Nary a doubt in my mind. Oh, you know what? Now there's headphones. You think that could be the answer? No. It is in fact not the answer. Let's go back to headset. Maybe this will be the trigger that it needs. You can do it, Tuna. Oh, Zando claimed it. There we go. Zando's first, friends. There's nothing you can do about it. I'll be back in a bit for my usual redeems. I got a prize for you too, Zando. I've got a prize. Hey, yo! What's up, H-Man? How we doing? Neat. Sitting outside of Starbucks for the last 2 hours, almost waiting for a call back from insurance because I need to figure out how to schedule a rental after I get AAA to take my car to get serviced. Probably at the dealership because it is so close. My dude, I'm so sorry. That is so stressful. So stressful. Car stuff is awful. Chunk the Hut, what's up, my friend? How we doing? Welcome to the stream. I don't know if yeah, it was my first time chat. I don't recognize your name. Welcome to Checkpoint Church, Church for nerds, geeks, and gamers. I don't normally sound like I have cotton balls stuffed up my nose, turns out. So you're here at an interesting time, but I'm here nonetheless. But yes, I'm Nerd Pastor Nate. This is Checkpoint Church. And we're doing the best we can to survive, and continue playing some games together. This is VarieTuesday. VarieTuesday, we play a game voted for by our community over on Discord. And if you're interested in perusing our Discord, !Discord in the chat, I'll pull that up. I'm from Safe Streamers, rock on. Yes, we've been in Safe Streamers for like a week or two, and we're glad to be here. Happy to be here in the community. You play Destiny. Is that your only game you play? Are you like a Destiny? Are you a MLG Pro? Hashtag MLG Pro, best Destiny 2 forever, games as service player, or do you play variety? What's your shtick, as it were? I find it really interesting the people that are able to stick to one game. I don't have the patience. I don't know. I like variety a lot. Apologies for the sounds. You know what? I'm going to turn down my... Rest assured, I do have tea today. I have some Irish breakfast tea. So there's a chance I may be getting over caffeinated today, because this is perhaps my third cup. This might just be my third cup of Irish breakfast tea, which is like notoriously strong. But you know what? I'm still sleepy, so. Actually, I've never streamed Destiny. I'm a variety streamer, but I do play a lot of Destiny. A variety streamer. Welcome then. You're among your common breed. Didn't even get my tea yesterday. I did a hot caramel apple cider from Starbucks, and that was really good. Oh, gachapon and a hydrate from Trombone. I'll do your gachapon, H-Man. I'm hydrating consistently.
Guys, one other gachapon, please.
With my tea. Gachapon it is. So yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit low energy today, but we're playing a game called the Amazing Cultivation Simulator. I don't know jack squat about this game. What's up, Mac? How we doing? Welcome to the stream. Don't forget, I won't let the other one forget. Thought it opened immediately. Congratulations, H-Man. You just got the green Chaos Emerald. We're running out at Chaos Emerald. There's dos más. Dos más. We are almost there. We are almost there. I'm sorry you are not, still not feeling good. Yeah. Actually, it's, yesterday was probably the worst day so far. I would at least like to say that I'm getting better, but I'm not. It's getting much worse. And I've not heard back from the strep people yet, so I don't know. I don't know anything. But yes, cheers to LTN, to Love Thy Nerd here. I'm actually probably about to go turn on the fan because I'm sweating right now. I don't know if it's my fever breaking. I haven't been feverish. We'll just see. I'm gonna crank it up. Have I tested for COVID? Only 4 times. Only 1,000,000 times. I wonder if I have COVID and it's just not one that's showing up on the test, you know? I have one of the strains. Look at that bedhead. Oh my goodness. Loathe it. Loathe bedhead. Didn't have a hot chai. Asked what they suggest since I don't drink coffee and don't have hot drinks often. I exclusively have hot drinks. Which is ironic that I'm an ice person. We have an ongoing debate at Checkpoint here if you have ice or no ice whenever you order it at the drive-thru. And I am an ice person, but I like hot drinks. Not just like, I love ice in my drink. And I also love hot drinks. Love them. Can't get enough of them. To the point that I was at this thing, our conference in our church we have every single June, and it's in this auditorium outside of a lake. It's hot, it's June, in an auditorium with 1,000 people crammed into this auditorium from the 40s, and maybe even older than that. And I went and I ordered a hot coffee, 100% sneaky, right there with you. I would rather suffer the consequences of the hottest coffee on the hottest day than ever dare drink a cold coffee. The auditorium heat was no joke. It was actually pretty good this year. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. I didn't think it was the worst it had ever been. I think it's progressively gotten better. I don't know if it's because they started clearing out some of the space with COVID stuff and preventative measures this year. I didn't think it was too bad. For what it's worth. It wasn't good. It's definitely not as comfortable as all of our friends that are in convention centers across the country. The windows do improve drastically. Very true. So yes, we're going to be starting this game, Amazing Cultivation Simulator. Know nothing about it. I know genuinely nothing about it, except that How Long to Beat has it listed at 100 hours. And so if I like this game, then I'm going to be so upset with H-Man because I don't have 100 hours to give, my friend. I don't have it. Plain and simple. But I realize I never really answered your question earlier, Sneaky. Irish breakfast is very good. Very good. It's kind of like English breakfast, only maybe a little... You can't really describe tea as like dark. But it would be like a darker coffee compared. I'm gonna try to call insurance again. Best of luck! Best of luck! Okay, I had something like that in July. I was super sick, told it was an ear infection, but the antibiotic made me sicker, fever and all. Tested for COVID so much my nose was raw. I eventually got better, but I think because of the autoimmune situation, it hit me big time. Oof. Yeah, there's no telling. There's no telling. But I'm still, the worst part is that I can't really rest. I don't really have like the chance. I've got 2 kiddos, and I can't very well ask my wife to take exclusive care of them. My wife is an educator, and so I can't very well like ask her to, I don't know why she would stay home for me, but I can't really stay home from work because I can't. This job is too easy to do, and it's not easy, but it is too easy to do as far as like there's no people around. I don't really have the excuse of like I can't go into work, right? Unless I'm going to give it to you guys through the interwebs. So it's just kind of I don't have the ability to rest. And then over the weekends, it's rough. It's rough. There's just nothing you can do. So I think I would heal quicker if I were able to just stay home and sleep. And definitely not play video games. No way. Never. I am trying to rest, though. I'm taking it easier, but... All right. Let's get this game. This green. We'll definitely keep praying. I appreciate that, Mac. Let's get this green deer. Rise up in a search for immortality in this strategy sim and management game based on Chinese mythology. I like that. Rebuild your sect and train new disciples through the path of cultivation. Research magic and gather mystical artifacts. Face ancient dangers and other sects in your path to spiritual ascension. Okay. All I know is you can do some pretty cool stuff in this game. It's been on my playlist, but haven't had the time. So Disney might be remaking The Neverending Story, and I'm just appalled at the idea because some movies are sacred and The Neverending Story is one of them in my opinion. Your thoughts? I have the same feeling about the Princess Bride. If they ever try to remake The Princess Bride, it'll be abysmal. I don't have a connection with The Neverending Story. I never really watched it. The first time I think I watched it was after Stranger Things because I was like, oh, well, what's this cheeky bit of cult classicism? I need to discover this. But I had never seen it before then. Oh yeah, I know it. Sometimes I think about how life would be if I had extra hands. Sometimes just being myself, I feel like I'm gonna explode. I get it. If they remake it, they have to scar the new generation like they did for me. Have you checked out Near President 8 trying a new sin? Unfortunately, misspellings, we have fun on Discord. Yeah, the Discord's making fun of me because I love simulator games, commonly called Sims. And I may have said that you guys know how much I love a new sim, but instead of sim, I wrote sin, and I'm a pastor. Yuck, yuck, yuck. I tell the little one that if I explode, just pick me up and put me back together the best you can. Yeah. Kids do help. They do help. They help almost as much as they hurt. They drive me crazy, but then they're so stinking cute that you can hardly handle yourself. All right, let's turn on full screen, yeah. Hopefully this just works. That would be magical. Oh, we need to turn off spoofy, of course. Okay. Oh, yes, let's play. Ugh. Why do I always have to log in to Xbox Live? I like the art. I like Chinese mythology. I didn't look at the rating. What is this game rated? Are we in the clear for family-friendly rating still? Do I still have family-friendly even on? I sure don't. Oh man, why not? That's like the one thing that I should have on. All right, let's turn off Nerd Church and add in family-friendly. Family-friendly. There we go. Yeah, we need that as a tag. For sure. I think it's 12 plus. Totally agree. The Princess Bride is another movie they should never remake. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. I will say, however, I did also say that they better never remake. We're gonna get into casual mode early today, you guys. Casual mode early. I also said they should never remake Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back, and they did, and I didn't hate it. All right, I'm not reading all this stuff. I'm worried this game's gonna have a lot of reading. I'm getting a feeling this strategy sim might have a lot of reading. 9 out of 10 on Steam is pretty doggone good. All right, let's take the tutorial, of course. I gotta learn the ropes. It does feel a little loud in my ears. Is it loud to anybody else? Is that just my ears? The Taya sect Mount Full Moon. The year is coming to an end, and the sect leader has retreated into complete isolation in order to practice and reach the golden cure state. But as for the rest of the sect, they are already in full celebration. Start tutorial. I don't know, I might have turned it down a little bit. It's so loud. I don't know if it's because I'm sick and my snotty ears are reverberating the sound. Because I can crank you guys up. You're down 17.9 decibels. Is this everything that we already read? Yeah. It won't hurt if you turn it down too much. Okay, very interesting. Letting me see the world. Oh, look at him. He just jumped away on his knife. That was very impressive. They're eating rice. Yummy, yummy.
My fellow disciple returned yesterday with yet another marvelous adventure to retell. Here now, he even found a piece of lumina core. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, they're traveling flying swords. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, I wish I knew what.
Hello there. What's up, Spurky?
By the way, if this sect leader successfully reaches the golden core state, our Tai sect will gain much fame.
Our sect leader is well experienced, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Look, what's going on with her? She looked really upset during dinner. Did I?
Yes, welcome, welcome. Oh, thanks for the follow, too. You're too kind.
I don't
Welcome
know.
in. We're at Checkpoint
But
Church,
I'm
Church for
pretty sure
nerds,
it's
geeks,
not
and
for
gamers.
you.
You don't have to be a Christian or a believer or go to church to be here. We welcome everybody of all walks. Voice acting is a nice touch. That's rare for a strat game. Rare for a strat game. We're just here to do good, do no harm, and strive to grow together, my friend. We're happy you're here.
You can find most character info on the character panel. Stats, mood, health, etc. Mood is the most important aspect of a character as it displays his or her emotions and needs. One of the core ways of maintaining a healthy and functioning sect is to pay attention to the emotions and needs of its characters.
I'm not gonna lie, I also agree that the voice acting is a nice touch, but it's giving me just the slightest putt-putt. The slightest Pajama Sam. It's giving just the slightest early 2000s Microsoft game. If I may be so bold. Just a little. Oh my goodness, there's so much to look at. Ah, okay. Mood is doing okay, I guess.
Hey, stop worrying. Only us women can understand what another woman is thinking.
Hey.
If you want to...
Oh no! Oh no!
Let's fight back.
Oh my goodness! I don't think we can. Their weapons are so impressive!
Use the keyboard or middle mouse button to adjust the camera. Use left click to select. Use right click to cancel selection. Roll mouse wheel to zoom the camera.
Where am I supposed to go? I understand this.
I have stayed long in the core shaping state. But our sect is being invaded, and I have to risk a breakthrough.
What's up,
to
Sis
turn
Pineapple?
the tide. As I am a practitioner of the Six Paths Reincarnation Law, my breakthrough requires an environment with water. I need you to help build an ice crystal cauldron in order to change the element and feng shui here.
Could they start a little slower?
My master's command.
Start with a let me build a hut from the ground up. Why am I in this giant temple?
Take this talisman of Supremium. It will make you impervious to the cold.
Yes, master.
System.
Characters cannot be controlled directly. Instead, most interactions are done by giving them orders.
Interaction.
Click a function and select the target characters to complete the order.
Click a function and select a target character to complete the order.
Good. Next, you will need to mine ice crystal ore from the hills and smelt it into ice crystal bars. The furnace is next to the mine.
Yes, master.
I'm so lost.
Collecting resources is also done by issuing orders. Different resources have different orders. For example, mine is for ores, and chop is for trees. After an order is given, characters will automatically accept the tasks according to the configurations in work and finish it. Game speed is an important function. Game speed can be adjusted via the button in the top left corner or a hotkey. Press space to pause. You can still give orders while the game is paused.
You have obtained ice crystal ore. Hurry up and smelt it into ice crystal bars at the furnace. As you are an outer disciple, you already know how.
Yes, master.
Producing orders need to be given the right structure. Once the order has been set, characters will automatically move the material to said structure and complete the task.
I think they should have started me off on a smaller spot. I'm feeling totally overwhelmed.
And change the elemental attribute where I practice.
Structures are the core of developing a sect. A building's attribute depends on the main material used in the construction, and its attribute also affects the surrounding environment. For example, a structure made from ice crystal bars will increase the surrounding water attribute. The 5 elements are an important part of this world. The interactions between the elements affect the entire world. Breakthrough, feng shui, artifact crafting, etc.
Deep into the pool, to say the least, my friend.
Structure feng shui is an example. Fire element buildings in a water element environment will have bad feng shui, as water extinguishes fire. And when performing breakthrough for a saint, practicing a law of wood in an environment of metal will be difficult, because metal cuts wood. If one instead does it in an environment of water, the success rate of the breakthrough will increase because water nourishes wood.
Okay. Okay. Let me just do exactly what you're highlighting.
Master. I will start building the cauldron right away.
Work schedule is a core strategic function in which you can establish a set of priorities for outer disciples. The priorities are listed from left to right. A task with a lower priority will
That element diagram will be really important later. I can figure. I assume. I just wish they would start me out smaller.
top priority allows a task to take precedence over all other tasks.
Uh-huh. Huh. Okay. Wow. I mean. Okay.
Well done. Now, as all the conditions are right, I will begin my breakthrough. Please hurry up and activate the sword shield to buy us some time.
The sword shield.
Yes, Master.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. No, that's a sword shield. Ain't no arguing that. It's a sword shield if I ever saw one. Unquestioningly a sword shield.
Cowards! How dare you attack us while I am in closed cultivation? Now that I've reached the golden core state, prepare to die.
Inigo Montoya. Oh!
Taste my celestial soul.
Oh, yo, taste it, bro. Pow! Wow.
I have reached the golden core state.
He was Super
Our
Saiyan.
tiny sect will make an example out of these wicked souls. All disciples, heed my order. Chase down our enemies and spare no one.
Yes, Master.
Nice.
Congratulations on finishing the Amazing Cultivation Simulator tutorial.
That's it, though?
Most of the game content is not available here due to time limitation, so you will have to explore the world on your own. You can access the help
I sure hope you're right about Clippy, Perry.
button in the bottom right corner. Wish you the best.
Thanks. She wishes me the best. All right. You've finished the Prologue Classic and Land of Illusion are now unlocked. Now you can check tutorials or a new game to explore by yourself. I feel like I could use some more help, honestly. But I don't really want them all to be that long. Are they all that lengthy? Hopefully not. I really just want to understand what I need to do. Let's hope it's not too lengthy, huh? We'll do this first one. Surely material acquisition is not that lengthy, right? Learn basic material acquisition and processing in this tutorial. During the tutorial, players can press escape twice to skip the task and continue the tutorial. Okay. Use a chop order. Chop. Chop. Switch the speed. Fast. Oh, look at him go. Nice, dude. Nice, dude. Nailed it. One-hit wonder, that guy. The player can place the cursor on chop to see its hotkey. It is left control and X. Ain't never gonna be doing that one. Use left control and X. Do I need to do it for real? I don't wanna. Don't make me. I'm in cozy mode right now, you guys. Drag and select an area to issue chop in a batch. Don't mind if I do. Wow! Wow! Look at me go! I haven't used a hotkey for chopping trees. I probably won't use any hotkeys at all because my brain doesn't work like that. The tutorial uses lumber collection as an example, and other materials such as ores, metal, food, etc. are collected in a similar way, which the player will experience in the game. Confirm. Oh, there's more. Is it taking me down the list, or is this still the first one? Create a workstation. Work. Material workplace. I guess it goes right here. Produce. With timber. Start. Loop 10 times. 'Cause reasons. Choo, 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 choo. Look at him. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow, look at him go. Material processing is normally done in corresponding buildings. Workstation in this tutorial is only the most basic material processing station. As the game progresses, the player will unlock more specific material processing stations, such as the wood, stone, and furnace, for more efficient material processing. Next level, learn basic room construction in this tutorial. During the tutorial, players can press, yes, let's do it. Okay, so this is the next level. Easy peasy. Content description, learn basic room construction in this tutorial. During the tutorial, okay. I want to make a house. Construct a room. We have enough resources. Now let's, whoa, what? Now let's use them to build a room for characters to live in. Okay. Build. Wall. Just drag and drop, easy peasy. Fill it. Boom. Door. Pow. Pow. Life. Bed. Pow. Pow. Decoration. Oil lamp. Pow. Pow. Wait. 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 Oh no, Zhang Jing is hurt! No, no, no! After the tutorial for room planning, the player can plan other rooms according to their needs. But remember, the largest size of a room is 400 and the smallest is 3. A closet, if you will. Select a resident. Click on the bed. Assign to this person. Confirm. Check the stats. Player can use this to name the room. Player can use this to check the temperature. It is 1 degree Celsius. Is that very cold? I feel that's very cold. Isn't that quite cold? Do you want it to be 1? I don't think you do. The player can use this to check the effect of the room. Bare boned. Player can use this to check the layout. Normal. Player can use this to check the attractiveness. She fine. She a 5. That's about 34 degrees. That's chilly, chilly. Chilly willy. Having a room is one of the most... Is China cold? I don't know. Is China a cold place? I feel like China would be a pretty temperate environment. It's spring. Springtime. For China. China. China is cold. China is also hot because China is China. Okay, still coughing in the microphone. Turn down the microphone just to cough in it later. Having a room is one of the most basic needs for disciples. It's important to provide a comfortable room for disciples. You okay there, Nate? I'm doing just dandy. Learn basic exploration in this tutorial. During the tutorial, players can press escape twice. Yes, I know this. Okay. The Discord has one more Magic the Gathering player. You. One of these days I'll play, my friend. I'll join you. Okay, first exploration. Issue an explore order. Explore the darkness. Quickly. What's up, Weesh? How we doing, my friend? 18 months? Are you serious? You get the 1.5 badge. Click the cargo box. Search the box. I don't like that hand. I'm not a fan of the hand, actually. If I do say so myself. I do sound sick because, in fact, yam. Some wild animal is found. Hunt or tame it to obtain resources. Sneaky VIP. Sneaky is VIP. Yep. Useful resources and animals can be found during exploration. The player can acquire these resources in the early stages. The animals can be used to hunt or farm. Use the hotkey for explore. Left control and F. Yes, thank you. Did it. Explore the darkness! Well, welcome back, Bweesh. I know you've had a busy season. Click the ore vein. A vein of ores is found, which can be collected if needed. Place the cursor on the newly discovered soil to check the info. This is fertile soil that can be used for farming. Ore veins and fertile soils can be found during exploration. The players can use them for mining and farming. All of this, by the way, in one ear, out the other. I don't know if you guys know this. I have yet to consume a bit of this. All of this so far, I'll have to watch again. Oh, a giant ginkgo. Ooh, giant ginkgo is not only beautiful, but can also gather ki. It is a helpful and rare resource for the early stage of training. Click the lotus. Lotus is an affordable resource for food. Okay, all right. Is the plural of lotus lotus, not lodi? The player can use explore to gradually search all the areas in the map and discover new resources, soils, animals, etc. Okay, next up, basic survival. Here we go. Here we go. Build page. Bam. Work. Well. Schmear. Wait. Yeah, I'm gonna speak. Okay, it won't let me actually. It actually won't let me do it this time. See you, Perry. Thanks for the lurk, my friend. Wells can provide a source of clean water for characters. Water can also be stored in water vat for contingencies. Oh, he fancy. Hunt. Click that rabbit. Hunt. Oh, Control H. I've been so busy, man. I believe it. I believe it, and I feel for you. I'm sorry. Ooh, can I drag and drop? I can. Spare. Speed it up. You've been to Germany. You've been out of the country. Insane, dude. That's always a huge undertaking. Use hunt to quickly obtain food, but the number of animals is limited. Their breeding rate is slow. Farming is necessary for constant resources of food. Mostly organizes in listening forums and preliminary interviews for 33 Episcopal candidates in the Western jurisdiction of the UMC. We will elect 3 in November. Oof. Hey, is it H-Man? Aren't you doing that soon? Aren't you doing something very similar to that very soon? When is the Southeastern jurisdiction meeting? Select the field. Same days. Okay, so woof. So y'all are busy, and it ain't changing soon. Wheat. Mushroom. Can place the cursor to see the info. Oh, I see. I understand. It wants me to see that there's information. Information. There are many kinds of foods. Not only can crops grow in soil, they can also grow in water. Learn basic storage planning in this tutorial. Oui. 2nd to the 5th of November. Oof. Dude, it gets so crazy hectic. Pretty much as soon as you enter into, like, normally for me, it was always Christ the King Sunday, which is the last Sunday of November. But that would always be the first one where it would be like, all right, well, hunker down, because it ain't stopping now. But you guys start as early as November. Select a storage. Different resources are located in different areas, and as the number increases, it'll be inconvenient. All good, Mac. Thanks for your lurk. Appreciate you. What's up, Frost? How we doing, my friend? Hey, I'm rocking an LTN mug today for my sick tea. Actually, it's not sick tea. I sure wish it was sick tea. Sick tea sounds really good right now. Hey, our Starbucks people, do you guys know what sick tea is? How did you make it? Because I found that every Starbucks employee I know makes it a little different. First, let's plan an area for materials and tools in the middle, so it'll be easy to access them as your sect expands to all directions. We called it a cold buster. Tell me about a cold buster. Area, storage, big. I like them big. No, don't make it small. Come on. All right, it did. Filter. Wow, there's just so many options in this game. I'm going to lose my marbles. Filter can be used to plan a detailed storage. Okay. Click consumables to leave out all consumables. No mole fan mail. Some resources will spoil as time progresses, so we need a low temperature storage for this type of resource. Next, we will plan a storage area for food near the kitchen for more efficient access while cooking, and a closed room helps to adjust the temperature for better storage of food. Build. Area. Storage. The whole thing? Can I do the whole thing? I see. It was steamed lemonade in a venti cup with green tea and an herbal tea. Honey is in the bottom and like 3 pumps of peppermint. Then let it steep in lemonade, melt the honey with some water. Very interesting. So that was not my original sick tea, but that was the sick tea that they gave me in the one like here in the town that I'm living in now. And I had never heard of the lemonade. So for us, sick tea was passion, specifically not the Tijuana passion, whatever the current one is. It was whatever brand Starbucks used to use, they no longer use. And it was passion tea in steamed apple juice with honey. And that was the miracle. That was the miracle. What was the old brand? I can't even remember. It's not tea. It's Tijuana now. The AJ. Okay. Movie game. Boop, 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 boop. And a gachapon. Maybe gachapon is going to work. Come on, my friend.
Will the Z Fighters manage to defeat Cell before he opens a gachapon? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Aw, man. Okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's the blue bean. Blue bean. Right or left, my friend? Right or left? Blue bean. Which one are you feeling today? Right bean, of course. Right bean. Worst case scenario, it's toothpaste. Best case scenario, I think it's like blueberry. It's toothpaste. That's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna spit it out anyway just because I'm sick. I could have eaten that one though. Let it be known. Okay. Your prize for today. Your prize for today, my friend Zando, is that you have a bonus movie game. Nate, what's up, Weish? I saw the rough draft and it is amazing. Are you talking of the video? The video series? I'm super excited. I'm super duper excited. I can't wait to see how it all turns out. Yes, Zando, Trombone won a movie game yesterday in her gachapon, and she opted to pay it forward to you. So now you have 2 movie games in a row. Congratulations. Generosity. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, movie game is a game where we combine 2 movie titles together. I read the description of those 2 movie titles if they were a thing, and then Zando gets the first guess because he's the one that redeemed it. But if he gets it incorrect, all 4 movies leading to each other, that would be a real feat. I'm sure it's possible. I'm sure it's there, but no. What was I saying? Let Zando answer first. That's basically the gist of what I wanted to get across. Okay, here we go. A frog, a bear, a pig, and all their misfit friends graduate from college and head for the Big Apple. But they get framed for the murder of an undercover FBI agent, and only Rambo and Star-Lord's dad can clear their names. A frog, a bear, a pig, and all their misfit friends graduate from college and head for the Big Apple, but they get framed for the murder of an undercover FBI agent, and only Rambo and Star-Lord's dad can clear their names. Not a chance I would know that, but now I'm very interested in the latter movie. I definitely know the first movie, obviously. What's up, Stained? How we doing, my friend? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. I'm gonna continue progressing forward while Zando is thinking. After a while, the disciples will store the items according to their category. Doo-doo-doo. Sure enough. They are indeed storing. It remains to be 1 degree Celsius. Once there are too many items in store, the players can expand and plan other storages for more detailed management and easier access to the info of resources. Check temperature. I assume I just click on it. Because the room is a closed area. Been missing ya. Agreed, Stained. Bleach has been a busy bee. Because the room is a closed area, room temperature can be adjusted by placing a source of heat. Okay. Place a temperature lowering item. Curious. We're going to place whatever that is. Because obviously. I'm weirdly stumped on the first movie? Sure. Yeah, I'll give you a hint. The first hint for the first movie is Henson in New York. And the hint for the second movie is, oh, you know it. You know the Stallone and Russell movie. Got you. I'm amazed you didn't get it. Although, I don't know. At this point, Zando, the Muppets in Manhattan go in cash. The Muppets in Manhattan go in cash. The Muppets in Manhattan go in Manhattan. Yeah, Manhattan go in cash is rough. That's a rough one. But I always like an opportunity to talk about the Muppets. Okay, your second one is wax on, wax off, and afterwards, remember to hydrate and water your crops with Brondo, the thirst mutilator. Wax on, wax off, and remember. Oh, and afterwards, remember to hydrate and water your crops with Brondo, the thirst mutilator. It's a good one. That's actually a really, really good one. Double click the select room for storage too. I'm getting distracted. Wait 10 seconds to see it change. The Karate Kittyocracy. The Karate Kittyocracy. Very good. Chats in the clap for Zando getting 2 in a row with only a couple hints. Room temperature is down. A larger room's temperature will be more difficult to adjust and requires more sources of heat to rise. Back to casual mode. We're getting back in casual mode, folks. Maybe without knocking the camera over. Brondo has what plants crave. Now we've secured food and other materials in separate storages. As the game progresses, it may require more detailed categorization, which can be realized by filter. Next level. We are 40 minutes in and we're almost there. I believe in us. Check the event for refugees. Wait for the event for accepting refugees to come. A refugee escaping the war is passing by. He wishes to join you. Okay. If it's good enough for President Dwayne Elizondo, Mountain Dew, Herbert Camacho, it's good enough for me. Let's see. There will be refugees asking to join the sect. It is a good opportunity for expansion, but growing too fast will put pressure on infrastructure and food provision, so please consider carefully. Select them. Accept them. Look at that friend. I like that. That's nice. You've gained a new character. Each character excels at a type of work. Open the work schedule menu and arrange suitable work for each character. Assign a suitable job. Work. My new friend. Move the cursor to a type of work to see every character's ability to perform it. Try to pick the character most suitable for the job. He's a healer. Okay. You've assigned work for the characters, and providing a suitable tool can greatly improve their work efficiency. Select a workplace to show its status. Ooh, boy, there's a lot to know. Oh, man. There is just a lot to know, isn't there? There's just so much. Assigning a suitable job to a new disciple helps improve work efficiency for the whole sect. When arranging different jobs, different tools should be provided to disciples to increase their individual efficiency. If a character's needs are not met, their moods will be negatively affected. I'm so sorry, I didn't realize how intense this game. It is intense, but I'm not turned off yet. I mean, I get it, I like it, but oh boy, I wish the tutorial were a build-up tutorial. I wish it started at 0 and walked you through bit by bit. The best, I can't even think of a game that's done it the best. Probably like some of the like Zoo Tycoons or that kind of game, where they start you on like a small plot of land and they're like, build a zoo, it's gonna fail, but here's your tutorial zoo, right? Instead of just telling you all the things the game can do, I think a better tutorial for a game such as this is to let you actually do it once on a small controlled environment. Yeah, rather than starting with a weird prologue where they make you go get ice crystals. I still don't understand the point of the prologue. I guess it was just building story. I'm going to assume it's building story. If a character's needs are not met, their mood will be negatively affected, which lowers their work efficiency and even makes them slack in work. Not slacking in my capitalist society. I'm definitely not here. Now let's see what the new character needs. What do you need? You look rough, friend. Do you have a little tiny tooth? The character needs a room. Arrange a spare room for him. Ah, don't mind if I do. Assign you, buddy. Go get a bed. Get a bed, you bozo. Pay careful attention to the character's moods and satisfy their needs to ensure that the sect runs more efficiently. Besides waiting for refugees to join, the player can send inner disciples out to find new characters to join or participate in special events to recruit new disciples after establishing the sect. The player can explore these advanced contents while playing the game. Good. Next level. Great. Great. Basic healing. Yes, please tell me how to heal. Check medical supplies. Please read the tip. Each medicine in the game has its own effect. For example, healing bomb treats wounds. Bone bomb heals bones. Please pay close attention. Okay, no. Work. Healer. A player can place the cursor on the position healer to see its requirements for related skills and other relevant work. Okay. Close. Check the medicine table. Produce. Healing balm. Make it so. Did you see GeForce Beyond? I have not. Is that GeForce as in NVIDIA GeForce, or GeForce as in as in Zach Galifianakis' hamster movie? Which GeForce are we talking about here? Because GeForce Beyond definitely sounds like a sequel to that movie. There are not many herbs in the wild, so the player can plan an herb garden in advance to ensure a steady supply of herbs. NVIDIA. Did I say NVIDIA? What did I say? I think I said NVIDIA. That would have been GeForce. That's what I said, Zando. Is that not what I said? Click the health. Ba-bam. The player can curse the... curse. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so tired, dude. Okay, this is fine. Left thigh bone. Yes, heal it. Yes, don't tell me to read the tip. If you keep telling me to read the tip, I'm going to lose my marbles. This guy over here. What is he? Think he's a comedian over here? He's a funny guy, huh? What is this? Well, we got a funny guy over here, huh? Making jokes about hamster movies. Wait. When a disciple set as the healer is injured, it is possible that no character will treat the disciple. Oh, man. Oh, hashtag relatable. Are you kidding me? Wounded healer? Tell me more, dude. Player can assign the healer's job to another disciple and adjust the work schedule and priority, or interrupt any disciple's current action in order to treat the injured disciple. Click and select. Heal him. His left... Look at that mustache. Look at that mustache. Killing it, bro. Yes. I love it. I love your mustache. There are other items that can improve healing effects. I just got to explore them, right? How far? How many more? How many more? Let's return to the tutorial section. Let's just see where we're at. Get a feel, because we might just be about to just dive right on in. Oh, look, that's basic. Look, that's basic. Now we're in cultivation and development and advanced. There's so many options, dude. It's so many options. We don't need magic. Who needs magic, bro? Classic. Jumping in. Environment, don't care. Size, we're gonna go with a small one. We're gonna learn. We're gonna learn today. Environment, don't care. Difficulty, my tribulations. How should my tribulations be? We'll just keep everything average. 100%, 100%. Ordinary, medium, none. Yeah. Yeah. We'll just do a standard game, but make it small. Let's fail, friends. Fail forward. The year is 245 of the Tiankang era, December. The Taiye sect, which had established itself near Mount Full Moon, was suddenly invaded by memory. Oh. Who is this now? Is this me? Am I this? Am I Frogman? Frog Lady. Pardon. Am I Frog? Yogai? Is that like yokai? Is that the Chinese yokai? Is Chinese yokai? Ooh, I like Lizard Man. He looks like a racer in Diddy Kong Racing. Okay, and then just human. I don't know. Let's look at their skills, I guess. Looks like you got nothing. Charisma, potential. There's a whole thing for potential. Intelligence. Okay, so charisma, smart, intelligent. No perception. Wow! Incomparable. Are you kidding? Look at those. Look at those. And then look at that. What? Oh, I see. There's perks down here. They haven't been assigned yet. Maybe that would change things. What is happening? All right, I'm going to be the turtle yell guy, man. You can change every disciple. Let's randomize another one. And then, ooh, bunny! I'll just keep going until I like one. Oh, no! No! Demon Rabbit Cop! Oh, I love Demon Rabbit Cop. Ooh! Oh, no! Oh, no! I love her! Are you kidding me? I love her so much. She's delightful. Oh, she's hardworking, she's meek, and she's a pharmacist? Oh my goodness, New. New, I love you, New. New Pinchon. Let's do this, man. Oh, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Wait, hang on, what? No, I want this person. How do I select this one? Oh, start game. A few days after the escape that I didn't get to read about earlier. Uh-oh. Okay, all right. It's on now. Law. It looks like I can only choose one. One of the true elemental laws of the Taiyi sect, with the help of the lesser Yang, fair Yang, and greater Yang, forge a fire from the three forces of heaven, earth, and man. The fire will be extremely powerful and light up everything in its law. However, the cultivation process can be very dangerous. The true fire might even obliterate one's whole existence if the cultivation goes wrong. Okay. Got it. Save. Yes! Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pause. I'm gonna go ahead and pause, and we're just gonna look around, huh? I got food, I got medicine, I got wood, I got related to practice. I got a secret. Formation, work, sect, power, world, codex, help, and system. I know what one of these does. Okay, build, target, produce. Okay. Okay, who are you?
The character menu displays the character's condition. For example, hunger and mood. The player can also use the character menu's interact button to give commands to the character directly.
Okay. Aeon. You're looking good. Looks like you've got everything you could ever want. So we're gonna let you be our. Can I assign you a job? I know I can. So where is it? Is it just over on work?
Outer Disciples tasks can be arranged in the work menu.
Yeah.
In the work menu, priority of tasks descends from left to right, but players can select a character and give a task special priority. Inner Disciples' behavior is not restrained by the work menu.
What's up, Christina? Man, we got a bunch of flashbacks coming and joining us today. What's good? What's good? How we doing? Okay, I don't know what these stars mean. I don't know what any of this means. Doing great. How is college? Are you smarter already? Do you feel collegiate? Are you feeling collegiate? Attended my first Pride Festival yesterday. Woohoo! How was it? Was it fun? Enjoy yourself? Have a good time? Attractiveness is ugly? No! I disagree with them, Ion. I think you're delightful. Basic stats. You're delightful! How dare they call you ugly? Mature child. It says you're handsome! I don't understand. I don't understand. Pride worship service in the evening, which was amazing. You cried. Oh, that's beautiful. That's so wonderful.
You have opened the mood menu. From here, you can see the character's varied emotions, which
Did you know that John Wesley was haunted by a ghost? I did not know that.
Careful attention to the character's moods and satisfy their needs to ensure that everything goes smoothly.
All right, so the environment is filthy and he needs a room. You got it, dude. Let's build a room first and foremost for everybody.
Health menu. In this menu, you can see characters' health status, whether they are injured, recovering, etc. Please pay careful attention to the character's health and make sure to let injured characters
By old
rest
Jeffrey.
to ensure that everything goes smoothly at the sect.
I can't wait for the Mike Flanagan biopic on John Wesley being haunted by old Jeffrey. All right, we need to build some rooms. I don't know what the deal is with all this stuff, but I clearly want to put it in storage. Obs.
You have just opened the training menu. In this menu, you can see information about the character's training status. As State of Cultivation progresses, the training
What's it called? Her mother-in-law.
This menu is available after obtaining training methods.
Okay. Okay. All right. Gotta be real, I still have no idea what's happening. I also can't figure out... Oh, it's WASD, isn't it? Okay. Okay. All right. First things first, I'm the realist. We're going to be building. We're going to start about building a house.
Buildings that can be constructed can be found in the Build menu. From this menu, Build Order can also be given. As you progress in the game, more options will become unlocked. Please note, some buildings require a build point. Make sure to leave space for the build point when choosing the location of the structure.
Okay, well, so far, not looking great. I definitely, I want a house, but I guess I can't have that yet. So we're going to build a fire right here by our things. Bringing in lots of new... I also joined the leadership team for the Wesley Luther group on campus. So that's been going well, bringing in lots of new members. Rock on. Well, that is super fun. Wait, what? What am I doing now? I don't understand. Just do it. Do it. Do it. Okay, for several days you hid during the day and traveled at night, finally arriving at a secluded ravine. As you were about to relax, a light of teleportation suddenly struck, showing the contour of a cultivator. The sect leader and I go way back. I caught wind of Thais' troubles and came as soon as I could, but it was too late. Thankfully, the gods are kind and not allowed this to be the end of the Thais sect. Finally, I found you. Do not worry, I will stay in isolation for a while to protect you all. If you ever encounter difficulty while on the road to cultivation, don't be shy, ask away.
You have built a production structure. Open the structure's production schedule to schedule production orders. You can set items in the production queue to recycle, etc.
Pause! I saw that I unlocked buildings again, and that means that I need to do the thing. We need to explore some areas, though, because I need to build a building. So let's explore over there, huh? Okay, that looks like a great spot for a building right there, doesn't it? Doesn't that look like a great spot for a building? Anybody else think so? I think so. Let's build a building. Structure. Walls. How much timber do I have? Who knows? All right, I think earlier they were like this. That feels right anyway. Good afternoon. What's up, the Space Hawk? Welcome in. I don't know if I recognize your username. Welcome in. We're happy you're here. Happy to have you. Welcome to Checkpoint Church, Church for Nerds, Geeks, and Gamers. I'm Nerd Pastor Nate. Normally, I don't sound like I have cotton balls stuffed up my nose, but today I do. And that's just where we are. That's how we do. Can there be two rooms in one? Can there be two beds in one room? Is that a thing? What do you guys think? I hope. I hope so. I'll go right at the foot of the bed. I hope this is all right. I'm part of the Safe Streamers group as well. Oh, rock on! Well, look at Safe Streamers just representing. Representing today. I appreciate all of you hanging out here. All right, I probably need to cut down some wood too, huh? Whoa, it's snowing. Oh, no.
Players can give commands to collect resources using the commands at the bottom.
Uh-huh.
Click a resource once to command...
Thunder snow?
Drag over an area to command the target to collect the resources in that area.
Holy moly, thunder snow! 2 beds, 1 room is okay. There you go. Yeah, my grandparents did the same thing. That's hilarious. Okay, how do I... Oh, I can cancel with that button. Easy peasy. All right, really not sure about all this. Ah, what is happening? Dude, what's going on, Obi? Mysterious cultivator. Please, help me. Help me with the literal dragon. Are you seeing this? How is this game? I am actually into sim games and play them on stream on Saturdays. I think this one's going to be great. My best piece of advice would be to play it before you stream it, because I have not played it yet, and I am so confused because there's so much that I need to know, and I don't have time to invest into it to really learn what I need to be doing, you know? And so I feel totally overwhelmed because I feel like there's a whole lot happening that I'm not allowed to know about. How it works. Consult. I don't know what that means. I don't understand anything that's happening right now. It's not the game, it's just Nate. That's it. Also very true. Well, get the man a tool. I don't have any tools. What do you want me to do about that? Karate chop it down. Karate chop it down, dude. How do I make a tool? Produce, maybe? You think I produce tools? Not true. All right, can I build tools? Can I build things that will build tools? A workplace, perhaps? Is a workplace a place where you might be able to work? That's me 100% of the time with the games I play. I like Sims. My humble opinion with this one so far has been that they did not do a very good job tutorializing. That's how I feel so far. Oh good, I can build tic-tac-toe. Well, thank goodness. I feel like I might be overdoing it just the slightest bit. I'm going to make a small storage area.
You have selected an area of storage. The characters will store items here.
I'm going to make a small little field over here.
Items. You have selected a field.
Yep.
Now you can select the
we're just gonna risk it for the biscuit, baby.
Different soil requirements. After selecting item, the interact button can be used.
The greatest gamer don't need no tutorial. Every time I feel that way about a sim game, I just quit and go back to Power Wash Sim. I think H-Man would be just fine if I did that. Okay, totally didn't understand what she said there. I'm gonna just say we're fine. It looks like we have precisely 1 more space. That's not fantastic. A chicken! Get the chicken! chicken! No, get her! Get that chicken! No, we don't have to hunt it. I want it. I want it as a friend. How do we... Hang on. Build a pasture around the chicken. Is that how that works? I bet we'll learn today. You go work. Go work on it. Catch that chicken! I feel like the chicken's gone. Is the chicken gone? I just have a sinking feeling. I just have a sinking feel. Oh no, I need to assign the... Oh yeah, hang on. I need to assign. What? Oh, it's not built yet. Oh man. Oh, they're still sleeping in the spot where the bed will be though. That's kind of nice. You just slept right there? Homie. At least go to what will one day be a bed. Alright, well, what's your deal? Neo-Penchon. Oh, you're me. I'm you. Okay, I feel like we've made enough wood now at this point that we should be able to make the rooms. Okay, well, I guess everybody just sleeps now. In my defense, I play some of the wall simulation games. Some off the wall. Yeah, there's definitely some off the wall ones out there. I've been really... Are you training right now? Is that what's happening? Is that what you're doing? There is... This week is B-Sim and Car Mechanic Sim. I just got one recently from Humble Bundle, but I can't remember what it was called. But it looked like a fun one. Sims are the best. B-Sim? Yes, absolutely. I have B-Sim. I've never played it. Alright. I thought that was Neo-Penchon. Why do I have two Neo-Penchons? Oh, I don't. I'm so confused! Holy moly. I don't know anything that's happening. Wandering? You're wandering? No. Don't wander. Explore. Over here. Okay. Okay, you did it. You were not the one I was talking to. We did find some ore. That's pretty nice. Okay, still nothing. My goal is to play the weirdest sims that I can find. So far, Rock Sim takes the cake. That does sound pretty random. We're just gonna keep on exploring until I figure out what in the world's going on. What is that? Is that a boar? Well, whatever do I do?
You are issuing an order for batch tasks.
CatchThatChicken.com.
Many orders, for example, place, haul, etc., can be issued in batch. Double-click, drag, and select or press down the Shift key to select multiple units and execute orders in batch.
I don't
You have
understand.
a character that has been injured. Refer to the help menu for more information.
Immediately!
The speed of recovery depends on the recovery ability of the injured character. The medical ability of the
I love that! I love that! She went for the boar and immediately someone has been injured. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard. Okay, but we did it. How do we heal you, my friend? Oh, that is hilarious. Your head has been cut. Well, what can we do about that? Who could help? Who could possibly help you? I certainly don't know. I cannot get enough of that. Oh boy. I'm worried this game is just above my pay grade, man. How do I help them? Do I have to have the healing table? I can't do that yet. Anyhow, I need to get some stuff done, so go on to lurk. Have a great rest of your stream. Thank you, the Space Hawk. I appreciate you hanging out with us. Hope you'll be able to join us. We'll play, we won't be playing tomorrow. We will be hanging out tomorrow at 9 o'clock, going over our nerdy sermon from this past week. And then next Thursday, this coming Thursday at 9 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time, we'll be playing some kind of game together. So we will be around. Super appreciate you popping in. I have no idea what's happening. You are allowed to relieve me. I could also just stop playing. But in all honesty, I want to play. I just want to understand what's happening. I want to know. We're going to grow herb. I want to know what's going on. I want to understand. Produce. Yes. Yes! How do I assign someone here? Gonna need another master degree to learn to play this game. True dat. Just chopping a tree with his hand, my man. Just absolutely chopping a tree down with his hand. You know, you could help us, buddy. You could help us. You could do it. You're just standing around like Lord Raiden over here. Also, never say we're going to grow herb. Oh, yep. I'll try my best. I'll try my very, very best. So now I just have wood, not lumber. Oh, my goodness. Wait, hang on. What's timber? What's the difference between timber and lumber? Hang on. Have I made a mistake? An axe. Oh, they're just putting it straight in the house, huh? That's fine. Honestly, that's fine. Because it means we're building a bed. Wow, look at us! Oh, we're figuring it out! Ah, wow, look at us, huh?
You have constructed a room.
Yeah, I know
In a
this.
room, temperature, attractiveness,
Uh-oh.
and other attributes will be taken into account. Additionally, the room's layout, quality, etc. are also
Uh-oh,
evaluated.
did I run out?
You can click on the floor of a room to inspect the room itself.
Did I make the axe? I need to know how to make it. I guess maybe it's on like priority, you know? That makes sense to me. Everybody has a bed. You guys, I'm the best there's ever been at this game. There ain't never been another one like me. Still need to figure out how to put them... Pasture? Is it in it? Does that mean it's in the pasture? Oh, no. How do I catch that chicken? I need to know how to catch that chicken. What's a boy gotta do to catch that chicken? Oh, wow. Okay. So we have rooms, we have doors, we have heat sources. Let's see, the temperature of this room is -3 degrees Celsius. It's just extremely cold. Just simply extreme coldness. It looks like we need more storage. We are growing stuff over there that shall not be named. Nope. I don't want the long grass. I guess we need to cut down some more trees. Yeah. Why is it every time I join you, you're playing some dope-looking game? Because I exclusively play dope-looking games, obviously. All right, we got a Movi guide here. We need to find out. Movi guide, how far in are we? 8 episodes left. Holy moly! Come a long way. 174 episodes. I think this game is bound to be good. It does have a 9 out of 10. It does have a 9 out of 10 on Steam. But no, I don't want to hunt it. I don't want to hunt it. I want to make it my friend. How can I make it my friend? Why won't it give me the option? Yes, only 8 left. Isn't that wild? Isn't that positively wild? Okay, you need. Oh, do you already have it? Did you grab it? Who has it? You do have it. Oh, good. Okay, cool. So they just automatically grabbed that. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool and neat and fun. We need so much more storage. I'll connect with you soon about having you on. We want to celebrate that accomplishment. I'm honored. I am honored. Did you ever enter all of your ETB codes into the online game? No, I have not. It'll take so long. I can't emotionally handle it. Please don't make me. Please don't make me do it. I beg of you. I still feel like I'm woefully unprepared for so many things. I guess I need to make more storage. Do I need to make some indoor storage for food whenever we eventually get food? What is this? Spirit wood? What about all those possible dittos, though? I've thought about it. I thought about what, I thought about if they, well, like what animation they would have made. Oh, I can remove it. Ooh. So, do you know if there's a place I can play Empire Earth? I love AoE, but man, I want the future epochs. I don't know. I have no idea where Empire Earth is. Whenever I want to know where to play a game, I typically go to backlog.gg and I see where it's available. But I honestly have no idea. Man, what do I do? Is there like a log of things that I need to get done? Is that a thing with this game? Begins decaying? No! Is anybody hungry? Is everybody doing fine? Why are you hungry? Eat! Eat something. Eat some bread. No one should be hungry whenever we have bread that goes bad in 47 days. Which is actually pretty impressive bread, if I do say so myself. That's some pretty impressive bread. Are you still hurt, by the way? Where is Ion? Is that you? Are you Ion? Are you still hurt? You're very healthy. Okay. Okay, well, I guess your boar attack wasn't that bad. Your head pain went away. What is that? A decomposed body? Search that thing! What's on that body? Ooh, Neo-Panjan carefully searched the corpse and found nothing! Ah, okay. Well, cool. Got the blade, I suppose. I'll take that nothing all the way to the bank. Thank you. I appreciate that nothing. Who's going to be our warrior? I think you need to be our warrior because you've already been hurt once. Go get that blade. Yeah! Gnarly, dude! Okay. Is that honey? Ginkgo. Oh no, we cut down a ginkgo tree. Oh, now I feel bad. And there's a rabbit down here. What's up, Pineapple Pope? How we doing, my friend? Actually, I'm gonna turn on some spoofy because it's so quiet in this game. I'm gonna go see if I can turn on. Nope, I sure can't. It won't let me. All right, Windows key. Windows key. Spoofy. We need some kind of background music, my friend. Things you don't hear at on-site church. A decomposing body. Search that thing. Exactly. Who would want to go to a real church? Fake churches for the win. All right, I definitely need to buy. I think I need to build some more stuff. And I really still want to figure out how to do all the things. Oh, wow, this area is bigger than I thought. Okay, neat. Like, I feel like there are so many more things that need to be done, but I don't know what needs to do. I guess tomorrow, maybe tomorrow will just be our big day of exploration. Tomorrow we shall explore. Day 5. The day that we explored. We have so much wood and not a lot of timber. We need to make more. More! Go ahead and put it on the chopping block, as it were. What were they saying? Okay, they must send somebody out to explore. What's up, homie? What are you doing? Why are you dancing? Where are you going? Oh, have we reached the outer? Okay. We've reached the confines. Well, then this place is small. Let's just keep exploring. Easy peasy. Okay, maybe not that small. Okay. Maybe, just maybe, not small at all, in fact. Ah, bear! A literal bear! And we're not panicked? We're not panicked about the bear? We're feeling cool about the bear. Stop trying to walk away. I've got things that I want you to do. I want you to explore. Stop it. Whatever you're trying to do, stop. You're exploring for me right now. That's what you're... No, stop it! There's an old box here! There was an old box! How do I get rid of this? Go away. Oh, and Anne came to this place and suddenly felt something sinister, as if an evil creature was living nearby. Is that a warning? Are you warning me something? Are you warning me we're about to be attacked? Ooh! My boy, that is a tiger! Where's Ian at? Oh, he's sleeping. Cancel these orders. Cancel them. I don't think I can. Who would have guessed we had tigers and bears so close by? The warmth of spring. Tigers and bears, no lions so far. So far is the key word. You never know. Okay, he's just losing his mind here. Training, I suppose. Oh, there he goes. Explore. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you. A tiger, dude. A literal tiger. Okay, so we've explored a lot of this stuff up here. I feel like it's time to build a real home now. I feel like now is the time. Well, we don't actually have any helpers, so maybe not. That is a male bear. Doesn't even look like he's... What? Male bear feces? What is this game, though? What game am I playing, though? What's going on, though? What's up, though? Obviously, I want to check out the old box. Search the old box, my friend. With some useful things. Yellow fabric. I reckon that's useful. Okay, we need some insulated storage, yeah? So let's go ahead and chop some trees. I'm gonna say these ones up here. Just clear a nice little path, yeah? Do I need to set... Everybody have their job. Ian, he is our warrior. Which I guess would be a hunter. And you, I think, is our farmer. Which means that Keen is our logger? I suppose. I suppose that's how it do be. Okay. Whoop. Okay. How do I get out of here? Like this. We definitely need a bigger storage area, that's for sure. Honestly, this could be our... that's still not really big enough, is it? I really want to know how to capture that chicken. I want to know. How do I get you? I don't want to hunt you. I want you to be my friend. I don't want to put you out to pasture. I want to put you in the pasture. And who are you, dude? Feel a sense of relief seeing you're on the right track. I will continue providing my protection for a while. If you have any questions, let me know. You're protecting us right now? A likely story, bro. You're eating our food, sleeping in our beds. I know it. That bear looks evil, don't it? All right, can you fight? Nope. I'd like you to kill the bear, because the bear's making me a little nervous. We'll see how this goes. We did it! A bear gall! We got its gallbladder! Why? Why do you think we did that? What reason do you think we did that, you think? What could compel us to have done such a thing, you think? I certainly have no idea why we would do that. Alright guys, have to alert for a meeting. All good, H-Man. I had my first of 2 funerals in 7 days this morning. Gonna be a tiring week. That sounds exhausting. Wanted to eat boar meat. Tough, buddy. We got bear meat. Bear meat exclusive. Okay. Now it is time to build a storage area. But particularly, we're going to be building a walled-in storage area. So let's build... It needs to be a pretty good size. We're gonna go by 8. That feels like a good size to me. And then we're gonna go. Yeah, there we go. It's gonna be a storage area. Needs a door. It's gonna be cold storage. Okay. Nice. But I do need to say this is for food only. Will they take things out that are not food? Can I tell them to move this one? Huh. Interesting. Maybe if I do this. What if I say no consumables here? Hmm? Oh, they're asleep right now, so I guess that doesn't help. You'll be back. All good, my friend. Actually, I might make me some more tea here in just a second. I think I get it. I understand why this game is as good as it is. I think if you're willing to take the time to really learn how everything works, it's compelling, it's interesting. I have a feeling it's going to enter hard mode once Broski leaves his protection or whatever. There are still a lot of things that I don't understand how to do, but I guess such is the nature. Such is the nature. I do know I definitely want to clear, like, everything. My area to look like inhabitable. We're gonna go into that for a while, huh? All right, get to it, everybody. Hop to it. The bigger question is whether they will out things in that aren't food. Goonies Fratellis. Bunch of nerds in my chat. Nerds in the chat. There's some nerds in the chat. Wait, what? Am I ruining the herbs? No. Don't do such a thing. They did it. They did such a thing. They went right behind and planted it. That's funny. I guess I gotta make my people happy. That's something else I could do. I do love a good sim, dude. Gotta be real. This is a lot of fun. It's compelling is what it is. It's compelling. It gives me things to do that are just mindless and fill time. What is that? My only concern is there are so many things that I feel like I'm not... Someone's hurt! Why is everybody hurt? Why is everybody hurt? Right, also, let's produce a farm tool. But I need to know why everybody's hurt. Are you hurt? You're very healthy. I'm just noticing that we started with 3 disciples and I got to customize all 3 of those disciples, and I did not realize that until just now. Abdominal pain. Well, stop. It's because you're hungry. Eat something. We don't have any food. Yes, we do. Can we cook it? How do we cook it, you think? Let's see if we can learn how to cook. Life. Work. A stove. I need stone. I'm about to get stone. Mining. Who's our miner? Does anyone have a mining tool? What do you have, Neo? Nothing? You have what? I don't care. Somebody mine over here. Whoever, I don't care who mines. Just do it. Okay, so now we have some brownstone. Is brownstone enough? No, I have to craft stone. Is block what it's talking about? Let's find out. I did get some jade. Okay, I think we made some brownstone block. So now that we have brownstone block, I can make a stove! Wow! Oh my goodness, the greatest! Keep telling you guys, I keep telling you I'm the greatest gamer. You don't believe. You seem to have gotten used to the life around here, although it is not as reassuring as when you were still in the old sect. Life here is still self-sufficient enough. Unlock new workstations. Gamba time, you got it. I'll do that, I'm gonna make me some more tea. I'll throw up a gamba and make some more tea, yeah? That sounds delightful. Let me pull up my creator dashboard real quick. Sorry, I'm trying not to do that directly in the microphone. Easier said than done. Creator dashboard. Doop-a-doop. All right, here is your opportunity to earn some channel points. Your opportunity to earn some channel points. Okay, okay. New poll going up. Has Nerd Pastor Nate ever been an unpaid intern? Yes. No. 1 minute on the clock. I'm gonna go make me some tea. Get your channel points, yeah. promise I'm not gone. Promise I'm not gone. I'm right here. Just making some tea. All right. Submissions are closed. We have 1K to 10. 2 people said yes. 1 person said no. The answer is, drum roll please. No, I've never been unpaid. Never been an unpaid intern. I'm very high dollar. I'm very exclusive. I demand payment. Enjoy your 1,000 points. Enjoy, enjoy. Oh, and then, of course, my tea is ready as soon as I click unpause. Okay. Are you really in ministry if you've never been an unpaid intern? Now, here's the trick with that, my friend. Here's the trick with that. If you are the pastor's kid, you do find ways. Now, if you count like stacking the chairs and stuff, yeah, like I was never paid for that. But as the PK, you have like a little bit of an in pretty much everywhere you go. And so if you want to work for the childcare, then odds are you can probably work there. I'm not saying nepotism, but kind of nepotism in a certain sense. I never worked for my dad, but I mean, it was at my dad's church, you know? If they needed babysitters for the small groups, who got the call? This guy, right? Man. Oh, it's awful. Awful. I really hope this is gone before the week is out. I'm a little worried it's not going to be. Did he just find a treasure map? No, it was a herb, but it sure did look like a treasure map, didn't it? Come for the gospel, stay for the nepotism. I mean, come on. Anything more nepotistic than the Godhead? Father and son? Give me a break. Okay. We're gonna make some dried meat. I thought maybe he was gonna dry up the pond there, but I guess not. What I want to know is why they're not collecting this stuff. What can I do? What can I do to convince you guys to collect the stuff, huh? Also, where's my friend? New, I would like to equip you with that, please. Just as soon as you wake up. Let's see. What's handcraft? A bow, a vessel, an umbrella, dice, bell, bracelet, handkerchief. My goodness. I wonder if it just makes these things faster. Ooh, I don't have a well. Well, I definitely need a well. Again, I don't know what any of these are for. Oh my goodness, there's just more things. It has started to snow. Do you think my stove needs to be indoors? Is that important? Flooring. Ooh, excuse me. Handcraft station. I don't know. Make that. When do we get more people? When do I get more workers? All right, are we in need of anything? How are we feeling, everybody? Still hungry. Did we make lots of dried meat? No, we didn't. Who was in charge of making dry meat? Do we need a chef? Where's our third person? Oh my goodness. Hey Nate, I have an idea for my reward of an extra special stream. Could you and I play It Takes Two together? Of course. Yeah. Did you have one to redeem, or are you wanting to change yours? Because I know I have one. I know I need one from Sneaky and Zando, but I don't know if I needed one from you or not. Oop, battery's dying. I had one to redeem from a while back. Well, that works for me. We just gotta arrange a time. Now we just gotta make it work. Make it happen. I believe in us. And we've cleared out a whole lot of area. I wish I knew what these guys were doing, huh? What do you think they're doing? Because they sure aren't making this thing, and they sure aren't making meat. Meat goes bad in 10 days. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are your tasks? Maybe we need more than one chef, huh? So if they have Little Moon, that's their task, yeah? Let's take them all away. Let's rebuild it from the ground up, huh? Let's rebuild it from the ground up. Peon. Crafting. Alright. Everybody does crafting. I don't know what this means. This is gonna be Aeon. No, he's our warrior. That'll be Keenhees. Taylor, we don't need one of those yet, really. Forging items, that's also Keenhee. Logger, also Keenhee. Miner, also Keenhee. Farmer, new. Builder is gonna be Aeon. And also new. Hunter is gonna be Aeon. Chef is going to be Keenhee. And also new. Healer is going to be new. Firefighter will be all three of them. We're going to try that for a little bit. Let's see if that works for us. But somebody's got to cook. Uh-oh. Broke the game. Oh boy. Oh, it's on fire. It was on fire so quickly. You're reading a book! What's that about, you think? Okay, so you just went and drank something. Are you feeling better? You are. Okay, we do have some dried meat that decays very soon. How do I get rid of this stuff? No, don't feed. I want to trash it. Oh, boy. It's broken. Did you just break it? It looks very broken. Doesn't it? Oh no, there's just a bucket on the side. Okay. See, what are you doing, my friend? You're just flailing around. Are you fed? Okay, good. People are being fed, at least. We do need some more meat. Man, we are almost done clearing this area. There's a fire. There's a fire immediately. Every time. They're all spoiled. They're all spoiled. All they're doing is spoiling food. Has anybody... Hey, would anybody like to join my band of merry misfits here? Because they're killing me. They're absolutely driving me up a wall. Okay, my tea is probably ready right now. Decided my bonus stream is Super Metroid. Let me write that down before I forget. That sounds great. Super Metroid sounds fantastic. Yeah, we're just gonna let them do their own thing for another couple minutes. All right, Xandos is Super Metroid. Still need Sneaky. I did get some tangerine tea so that I don't have a caffeine heart attack. I'm not interested in that. Very interesting though. My my honey has once again done the thing where it's not spoiling, but what's it called? Where it does the thing. It's once again it's done the thing where it does the thing. Crystallizes. My honey has crystallized yet again. Waiting timber? I got you. Come on, you need to tell me. You know we need more timber. You know, it's very possible maybe we need to discover water because that's where the person came from. Oh, can I accept them? Yes, accept. Yes, accept, obviously. Get to work! Okay. Let's learn about you, huh, buddy? Oh. Interesting. So you don't get put to work until you're officially a part of the crew. Curious. So should we talk to you? Does somebody need to talk to you? Can we read some of your thoughts and opinions? Dark, need a room. The environment is filthy. You've been injured. Okay, well let's your nose has been cut. Let's go ahead and get you a room. First and foremost, that's going to be priority number 1. You know what? We're going to build you your very own spot. How's that? Pretty generous, methinks. We're even going to give you a lantern. You're going to be the first one of us to have a lantern. Oh, a double bed. You think people can be married? And I guess I need to also make some brownstone, clearly. Okay, you do not have a bed right as of this second. Okay, but you're gonna have one soon. At least you're in a room. It could be worse. What's missing? Why is it telling me something about work? Confession, I loathe The Sims. So you're miserable right now. You're not enjoying any of this experience that's going on. Okay, so now I feel like people have got things, nothing to do. Like now people are past their, they don't no longer have things to do. Happy to be with us. Hey, you know what? That's the best. That's the answer. That's the answer we were looking for. I want this room to be built, obviously. May fortune favor. Okay, well, I sure hope we aren't done for. All right, our new friend gets a bed. I'm glad one of the pastors in our midst loathes sins. Yep. The best place to be, right? What are you doing just dancing here, friend? Oh, you're working. You're working. You're producing. Okay. What's up, Harry? Welcome back from your lurk. I'm doing great here. Feeling good, looking good, dude. Look good, feel good. So if it's blue, does that mean that they have nothing to do? You think? Also, how are we doing, Zhao Zhen? How are you feeling? Are you in a slightly better mood now? We still have a filthy environment. I don't really know how I can help you there, bud. No. In fact, I did not get past the tutorials, Perry. I just kind of stopped them. And I'm figuring it out. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I really want them to pick up this loose stuff and put it in here, and I don't know why no one will do that. I don't know if I need to make... Oh, look at that. As soon as I said it, they heard me. Holy moly, he heard me talking. Homie, thank you. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. It's very possible that I just wore them out with all the things that I told them to do at once. But now we've got a nice, clear, open area. I think we need to start figuring things out. Here's the handcraft. What are we gonna do here? What are we gonna make here, huh? We got nicer tools. That's a big deal. We got all these things, whatever they mean. Who knows? We got a vessel. No big deal, just a vessel. We got umbrellas for all of our umbrella needs. We got tables. We got a water vat. Don't really know what that's for because we got a well right now. I don't know if we need more things. I don't know what we need, what we don't need. I think it's time for a timber station. I think it's time for stonework, medicine. I think it's time to build all the things. We just need a working zone. I also want to demolish all of this. Can't do that. Okay. All right. Well, I guess slowly but surely, let's just start building things. And just hope that they're actually useful. Because you know what? All I got is time. All I got is time. So just build the things all in a row. And let's just hope that they're useful. Huh? Just build them right out in the open. Don't even ask questions. And also might be in need of some timber. Maybe some food. Try not to set it on fire. You immediately set it on fire, it turns out. And I don't think I could have been much more direct with my request. Okay, now this can be another spot making timber. Look at that. I bet it's faster. That's my hypothesis. Not really sure. What is not filthy, do you think? Wood flooring? Do I need to make some wood flooring? Source. Handcraft station. Well, I have that.
A group of enemies has appeared.
Don't!
They're preparing to attack. The strength of enemies depends on the sex reputation. The greater your sex reputation, the stronger the enemies will be.
From the where, did they say? We only have one person that has any weapon. The enemy has showed up. Is that them? To battle! Alright. Well, I'm not real sure what we can do about this. Oh, they're just beating our walls down. They're just beating our walls down. Fight! Defeat! Defeat this person. Why can't they? Why can't they be attacked? Oh man, the music's on now, huh? That's, yep, spoofy. Spoofy. They finally decided to play music in the game. Calm down. Destroy. I mean, kind of how a sword works, yeah? Not dissimilar from how a sword works. You just kind of whack it into the person and then they're gone. Now, what are we going to do about you, buddy? You appear to be pretty messed up, huh? What can we do? Can I feed you some medicine? Is that how this works? This item's not edible. Well, gee willikers, man. What on earth am I going to do about that? I am losing my voice pretty bad, actually. Pretty bad. Nope, don't demolish. I want to know how to help you. Really not sure how to help you. I mean, what can I do? I just kind of touch the things. Alright, hopefully somebody's going to help New, because I'm pretty sure New's us. If New's dead, then I think we're dead. Okay, looks like New's going to go heal themselves. Started to rain. Good. That adds up. Is there anything we can do with his body here? Can I clear these trees, actually? Because this is really irritating to not be able to see what I'm doing. You just had to kill him in the one spot that I can't see, huh? I see your Gamba. I see your Gamba. Let me do that. Channel points! Opportunity for channel points. Whoop. All right, very appropriate time of year for this one. Did Nerd Pastor Nate dress up for Halloween last year? Yes. No. 1 minute on the clock. Get your votes in. Get your channel points up. Make it happen, Captain. Not me thinking Male Bull was definitely an opponent coming to fight us. Okay, a bow. We don't really need... Nobody... Oh, maybe our friend. Maybe our new friend, the monk. Where's he at? Would you like a bow? Would you like to be our hunter? Hunter? Oh, you're not actually here still. You're not even here yet. Alright, the one... To the victor go the spoils, dude. To the victor go the spoils. Can we bury this man? Do I need a burial ground? I guess so. Alright, well, we gotta build a burial ground. What do I need? Stone block and timber? Timber. Stone block. Woof. Can you talk to you? I'd really like you to stay with us. We'll do that. We'll do the one first.
You will now start communicating with a character.
I wasn't prepared for this.
Realm content update. Each character is endowed with their own traits and personality. According to different needs, you can obtain information about your target, ask questions, and acquire treasures that you like.
Moo? Who are you? Moo. Good start. Did I dress up for Halloween this year? We are 50-50 almost. Yes versus no. We got 1K, 2 people put in. 960, 2 people put in. The answer is no, I did not dress up for Halloween last year. But I would hope to maybe do it this year. I'm no good at Halloween. I always forget. Can we discuss?
The mystery page. When investigating you have opened the character page. It keeps a record of the information of various characters that you have met along the way.
It is inappropriate to ask about this, huh?
And gain advantages in the world of cultivating.
Says you. How do you have a young child and not dress up a little? I call hacks. So the truth is that we haven't even done anything for Halloween in 2 years. We really want to do something this year, so hopefully this is the year. I guess I'm just gonna keep. I really want him on our squad, and he clearly doesn't want to discuss anything. Can I ask him about his favorite thing? He loves marble. Why? Okay, defensive. I'm leaving. I don't know what your deal is. Moo. Well, I'm clearly a cow person. I don't know what you mean. Oh, I need to make a grave. That's right. That means we need a burial ground. It's going to be over here. This is a burial ground. Boink. I'm nothing if not respectful. Awaiting item. Ooh, we're out of meat? Oh no. We just have a bunch of nasty spoiled meat. We do have ginkgo fruit as well, so I guess I could always just cancel this. Produce something with ginkgo. I cannot do that because we do not have any of that. Good. Our church is having a Halloween parade along our very long perimeter sidewalk. It also happens to be the day before Ben's birthday, so we're going to combine his birthday with that event for his party. Y'all are welcome to come. See you there, October 22nd, which also happens to be my 11th wedding anniversary, so gifts are strongly recommended. What is the 11th birthday, or 11th anniversary? What is that? What gift do you give? Something borrowed, something blue. Pokemon cards, that's what I hear. That makes a lot of sense. Somebody didn't come to bed. Okay, let's see if somebody else might mind talking to Zhao Zhen. Ayan, would you mind? Would you mind going and chatting with our buddy here? Our buddy old pal? Apparently you would. Don't even know where you are. Okay. Okay. Oh, there you go. All right, and chat. Yeah! Talk him up, dude. Everything's so dull. You're dull, Zhao Zhen. I can't give you anything. What do you want? You want some red fabric? Enjoy. Thanks, Elder. You're welcome. Would you like to discuss maybe some dislikes? What are some things you aren't a fan of? Back off! I don't like you anymore. I don't actually want you on my squad. I don't want you on my squad at all. You're grumpy. I literally took you into my home. You treat me like this, I bring you into the family. And this is how you repay me. I bury that man. We're nothing if not honorable here.
You have a character that is so hungry that it is eating dirt. Eating dirt multiple times in a row can cause bloating.
I'd say so.
To resolve the situation quickly, you can choose plants that mature easily, such as mushrooms, go hunting, or go on an adventure to Nanping village to collect food.
That's hilarious.
You have a character that has been injured by abnormal tea. Refer to the health menu for more information about the injury. Medicine cannot be used to heal an injury due to abnormal tea. Rather, you have to use elixirs created in the alchemy furnace and manually command the injured person to consume it.
Let's grow something.
The speed at which this type of injury heals
not quite
depends
there.
on the recovery ability of the injured character and the quality of the elixir used.
Yeah. Grow cotton. No, we don't need cotton.
Is not recovering after being healed. Try to improve one or more of these.
No, I want to grow. I want to grow wheat. Let me grow wheat. Stop this. I want to stop. What do you mean? Ah! What do you mean? What is happening right now? Oh my goodness. What even is going on? Build. I need Spoofy. I need Spoofy. Spoofy helps me think. Spoofy! Okay. All I wanted this entire time was flooring. That's all I wanted. All right, I guess it's time to build a field of some sort. Grow wheat. I think we're all about to die anyway. Just got a feeling. I just got a feeling that we're all about to die anyway. Oh, duh. Why am I not hunting down the things, dude? Hunter man. Hunt the chickens. So obviously the right thing to do. It's only been 16 days in game and it feels like it's been 16 days in real life, dude. It feels like I've been playing this game for 16 straight up days. Is it because that's broken? Can I repair it easily? He repaired it so fast. Oh boy. Did Jingjin leave? Did my boy peace out or did he die?
You have obtained a secret. The player can proceed to the location of a secret to trigger it and try to obtain reward. Secrets usually
I don't have time!
Waiting, but it depends on the luck. If you come across
I absolutely do not have time for your secrets right now.
You have opened the clue page. It keeps a record
This game is
of
too
all
much, bro.
during your game,
This is too much, man.
and evidence.
This game's too much. There's too much to do. There's too much to do. Who could ever? Who could ever hope to have enough time to do all these things, huh? There's simply too much. Plain and simple. Too much to do. What is that? I'm in the hole? Why? Why am I out of timber? What do you mean? To do those things. Okay, that's fine. The greatest gamer could find the time. Well, I'm finding it. Somewhat. I really needed a fourth person, and clearly did not understand what needed to be done. A cultivator is observing you, but they don't seem to mean any harm. Whatever. He looks to be in a good mood, at least. Yeah, I feel like I'm just missing a lot. I feel like there's just a lot that's missing. I feel like I'm just real confused as to what's going on at any given time. And my tea's getting cold. What are you doing, you think? What's he doing up there? See, like, do they not have things to do right now? This looks like I still need more timber. How do I see what's like on someone's docket? I feel like that's what I want. I want to see like what is somebody working on right now? And I want to build stinking floorboards. No material. Offcut. Anything. Okay. 100? We need meat. Let me find something to destroy. There was a bull down here, wasn't there? Where'd he go? Good luck, eye. Lost consciousness! Oh no! Oh no! Go on, take the money and run. Take the gotcha and run. He's gonna go for it again. He did it! He did it! Oh, but he lost his sword, homie. Yeah, I just got beat up by a bull, dude. And he had a sword. He had a sword against a bull, and he lost. Okay, where's all the wheat that I was supposed to be making, huh? Floorboard! Alright, let's go. I like that pattern right there. Wow. Truly revolutionary. Whoopsie, wrong. Nope, nope. How do I... Hang on. Okay. Mess with the bull, you get the horns. Truer words have never been spake. Yeah, I think playing this game again would be more fun because I would have a better idea of what to do and what can be done. What you doing, buddy? What you working on? Is that hardwood floors? You were working on hardwood floors? Is that what's happening? Ooh, it's taking a long time. Oop, taking him not very long. Wow! Look at that! That room's nice! It's ugly. It's ugly, but it does have a floor. Yeah, it does. Throw me a bone, homie. Who's got floors? This guy's got floors. Just leave the wood in the room, bro. Just leave the wood in the room. I mean, who needs it? Just leave it in there. Just leave it. Just leave it. Who even wants it? Who wants it? Not me. I just leave it. Oh, water and fertile soil. I just need poop. I just need feces. Easy peasy. All right, we're gonna throw another lantern in this room. Again, really just not sure what any of these things are for. I feel like that would be a good spot for that. Just so many things. A roof. The roof, the roof. The roof is on fire. Ha 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 ha. Whoa, stop. Oh, hold up. I can't just select everything? It would be nice if you would show me what I'm doing. Okay, is everything roofed? How do I know? How will I know? Poor soil? No. No soil at all, in fact. There should be nary a soil. What do you mean? There should be no soil. Hey! Attractiveness went up a little bit. The point remains, though. There should be no soil. I have a roof. Does it have a roof? Tell me! How do I know? There's got to be a way to know. Okay. I mean, how will I ever know? Oh, you know what? We need a roof here, too. Roof it, baby. Just so painfully confused about everything that's happening. Just truthfully beyond confused. Hey, how you doing? Huh? How you doing, buddy? What's going on in your life? You're doing great, friend. You have no complaints, homie. Not what? Where is it, Dem? Oh, in there. Yeah, that adds up. That adds up. No, that works. That makes sense. I'd like to remove precisely one square here and one square here. And then I'd like to put some lights in here. Online church is serious business. You got that poop clip. No. Anything but the poop clip. Did we get the wheat? Is wheat still just starting to grow? It takes forever. Speaking of poop clip, none of them have gone to the bathroom. I can't believe the only one that's noticed that. I learned to shapeshift in 19 days. That's pretty neat, I guess. The voice you used to say, I just need poop, gets me every time. Is it also because of sick voice? Is sick voice helping? Ugly! You guys are hurting my feelings. This game's hurting my feelings. I can't believe we call things ugly that I make. I make nothing ugly. Again, still just so unsure of what I should be doing. Fabric. Oh, I can make, oh wow. Make so many things. Brownstone mill. Ooh! Cool. Ooh! Wow! Look at all the things I can do. Whoopsie. Oh my goodness, a blade! Chakram? Oh, wow! This is all real cool. I did just see laxative, so that means there's at least something there that holds up. That they need a bathroom. All right, let's make them, nope. Oh, we need timber. What? Surely we have timber. That raspy voice just now sounded like Teen Girl Squad. And clearly I just need to hold up the rasp. Maintain the rasp. It seems to be popular. I think it's working for people. I mean, I got a lot of resources here. A group of Yao Guy cultivators had their greedy eyes on your property. Why, dude? Why? Are you sure, bro? Oh, spoofy! They randomly decided to play music again. Alright, we got our one fighter. I just need to figure out where they are. Or maybe I can I just turn him on fight mode? Where's he at? Who's the question mark here? Yes! Go and defeat- oh, no I can't. I gotta find them first. Where are they? Yao Guy! Did it say where they were coming from? Are you? Where are they? There he is! It's you! Get him. Get him, get him, get him. Yeah! Oh no! Oh no! Everyone's dying! Oh no! Okay, hey refugee! Where are you at, buddy? Yeah, of course! Come help us fight! I think they're waiting on us to sleep. You're thirsty? You're nearly dead, bro. He died! Oh no! This is going horribly. Oh no. And we still have this other guy just chilling right outside our door. Just waiting on us to heal enough to fight him. Maybe not. Am I wrong? I would like for you to stop what you're doing and destroy this man. Oh, the target is not an enemy? Oh, no! No. Okay, he's my friend. So what happened? Oh, he's dead. No, that's my guy. What happened to the Yo guy? What is happening? That is the bad guy. Is it his corpse? It's his corpse. Okay. Okay. You know, I'm still a little confused, but I'm starting to figure things out. So are you on our side now? No. Yes? Yes. You're on our side. So we lost our everyman, I'm afraid. We lost our dude who worked on all the things. But you're going to be a natural, buddy. You're going to be a natural. Promise. You're going to be good at all of it. I think you might have been given to us out of pity, not going to lie. I think that's very possible. Where's my boy? Where's my main man? Where's I? I, where you at? I need you to go pick up your sword. What's up, H-Man? We lost woman. We lost him. Somebody died. And we're very sad about it. I just wanted to build a birdcage. A bar. We lost two. We've lost two people. It's very sad. But you know, it just kind of is what it is at this point. Somebody's going to need to search him. And get all the things. And once he's been searched, somebody's going to bury him. Because I'm not a monster. Holy moly. We need Spoofy again. Every time somebody attacks, I have to turn off Spoofy because that's when the music starts playing. Okay. Yeah, I think as far as Sims go, this one is very robust. Very built out. Quite impressive. Maybe even too intricate? If I may be so bold. Why is nobody doing the thing I asked? Why is no one doing the thing I asked them to do? Huh? Would anybody mind doing the thing I asked them to do? Hmm? Would you mind? Would anybody mind doing the thing? I'd like if anyone would do the thing that I requested. You that'd be all right? Could you go bury our friends? Someone go bury our friends, please. No? Nobody's gonna bury our friends. What are you doing? You're just contemplating. Oh, you don't have a bed. No, you're the merchant. Did you ever play Black and White or Black and White 2, as in the Pokemon games? No, I have not. I've not played either one of them. I'm very disappointed in myself. So are you just a part of us now? That's pretty cool. No, the old God Sim. No, I've never played that. I've definitely not played many. I've not played many God Sims. I do enjoy them enough. Somebody take care of these bodies! Is it his job? Doggone it, I'll give you all the tasks until somebody does it.
Character that has ascended, been kicked out of the sect, or died, what happens next to this character can be found in their character epilogue. After saving, you can see what happens next to these characters in epilogues.
Thank you.
In the main menu.
Thank you for burying their bodies. You awful, awful people. Came out back in 2005. It feels like that was definitely a different era, wasn't it? The God Sim era is a bygone era, it feels like. Alright, Ziju, where are you? You say you need a pickaxe. My friend had one, but he's now on the ground. So I guess I need to make you another one. I just don't remember how to do that. What? No. I know that's how I make lesser than tools, but I want to make good tools. How do I make good tools? After a quick Google search, you can't find it anymore. No! Well, that makes me sad. Stop with the foaming pill! I just want to make weapons. I want to make better weapons. Aha! It was me, Dio. Don't care. I just don't really care about all the things in this game. There's just a few too many things. I think if I had the time to care, then it'd be a different story. But I'm afraid I just don't have the time to care about this game. I think that's the God's honest truth about it. Is I don't have time to care. And another life, brother. Maybe. I think if I just had just a ton of time to kill, it'd be totally different. This game would be, no! Oh, that's fine. No, that's not fine. No, I don't want that, that's ugly. Okay. Grow plants, a different kind of plant. 20 degrees. Oh wow, I have so many things I can make now. Alright, well I want mushrooms, anyway. If they'll grow in this temperature. I still don't understand why people aren't putting the things in the place that I'm asking them to put it in. That's a little frustrating. I want them to use storage. I don't like that there's just things just sitting around. That's bugging me quite a bit. Like, that is not full, you know? Why is this stuff just sitting here? I don't like it. I guess to each their own. Might just be the way this game wants to structure itself, but I would much rather have it be put somewhere. Destroy it! Kill it! Kill the chicken! Goodbye! Do we still not have wheat? Oh my gosh. 30%. We better make so much wheat, you wouldn't even believe it. Right, well, I need to start making a graveyard if I'm just gonna have all this grave area, you know? That feels disrespectful. Oh, what is this? This is just all the things that I have right now. Curious. Passerby, where is he? Not you. You find him, he's welcome. Literally just show me where you are. Straight up. Oh, there you are. Welcome. Wait, did anybody accept you? Did you just join right ahead? Sure enough, Jin Hong. Did you get a bed? All right, well Jin Hong just hopped right in, huh? Well, Jen, let's see what your work duties are going to be then, huh? Currently, we've got you as everything. I think we could use another worker bee. We'll have you match Ziju. No, you could be a farmer. Oh, you're really good at smithing, though, huh? Oh, and you're a good tailor and a good craftsman? Oh, maybe you don't need to be this, then. How about we take you off of chef duty, off of building duty, farming duty. You'll be our expert craftsman. Yeah, this feels good. It feels like a good flow right there. Hopefully that's a good flow. Who really knows? We're waiting some meat. Yep. Yep. I feel pretty certain I can say this game is fun. I think what would make this game that much better would be if it were just a little bit better explained in the beginning. That's a must. Don't know why those things didn't connect. Don't like it. All right, cool. They did now. Do you think a door does the same thing in a fence? No. Dope. Can they get in a fence? Okay, that's going to be our little graveyard. But yeah, I think this is a good game. I think this is interesting. It's compelling. I'm curious. I want to know more. I want to continue to etch and to make little differences here and there, you know, continue making an impact in this little town. Like, I like that. I get it. I think is what I'm trying to say. I understand the game. And I think it's compelling. Recent rumor came from the Seascape, says that there has been a sea region shrouded in cloud and fogs appeared in the deep sea to the north. Usually dangerous. No one has ever seen. No one has gone in or out and been seen. Okay. And we clearly got to find some meat at some point. We still have a little bit to eat, but it's not a lot. And this is certainly not growing at an acceptable rate. Definitely knowing that I could clear the land is a whole lot easier than worrying about mining specific things or worrying about specific things. Like, this would be a great, like, snowed in game. You're snowed in, you're a little bored, you just want to play something. This is a good game for that. A good snowed in game. In my humble opinion. Remarkable book was taken. Okay, I don't know what that means. You can tell me whatever you want to tell me, but I don't know what any of it means. Because nothing has been explained to me. It's just kind of assumed that I know what we're talking about at any given time, and I do not. Let me assure you. Have any idea what we're talking about. And I don't know why nobody will pick up these things. And it's about to drive me wild. That doesn't do anything. It's been 26 days. I don't understand how things are still filthy. I don't even understand the point of storage. Because Lord knows they don't use it. Lord knows they don't use it. Why are you using it? Why are you using it now? Why now? There were open spaces. There just were. But okay. I guess that's all it took. It just needed to be bigger. Why? Who knows? Who knows? So I did see a thing earlier where it said like sell or something. Ooh, gross. Can we make everything the same, please? Available for sale. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make a little salesman booth. We're gonna make another little storage area, and this is gonna be our little salesman booth. We're gonna put it right up here. This is where items for sale go. And this is gonna be... I don't know what any of this is. So we're gonna take everything off. This is gonna be gear, such as weapons, mantles, coats, pants, and tools available for sale. which means these spaces, I want to actually take tools out. I don't want any tools in this space. I guess. I really hate that it's separate sections. I think I know what they were going for, but I hate it. Okay, cool. So there we go. Got my stuff up there for sale. Who's hungry? Why is anyone hungry? Maybe you should try making some wheat. Huh? Make some wheat then. Some wheat thins. That'd be swell, wouldn't it? All right, well then we're just gonna absolutely, oopsie, eat all the meat things that we have in the field. Is that what you want? Is that what you want me to destroy all the wildlife? That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing destroy wildlife, Nathan. What happened to the tigers and stuff? Where did those go? It's nice to just kind of be able to continually just branch out, you know?
One of your character's mood is too
Whose?
low. The status of character's moods.
Whose mood is low?
And conveniently at the bottom of the screen. If a character's mood is starting to get low, open up the mood menu to determine the situation and how to resolve it.
I eat something. That cheer you up a little bit? Drink something. We have to draw water. That's a thing. All right, I'm gonna make you a better mood. How would I have known that if no one had told me? That's what I want to know. I feel like no one said anything to me. They were just like, by the way, somebody's mad. Nobody has the decency to tell me they're mad? Look, I know that things would be better if you had better tools, but I don't have that to provide. All I have are these better ingredients and this better pizza. Why is everybody hungry? Stop eating so much! I can't make more food until the wheat grows. And the wheat won't grow. What do you want from me? I can't find any animals. I can't make any food. What do you want? What am I supposed to do? I sure hope these decomposed bodies have some food on them. Nothing. Found a weapon. Found a mace. Found nothing other than a chakram. Alright, well, do you see how that's not helpful to me? You see how that's not helping me in the slightest? What I need is that tiger. Where'd that tiger go? That's what I'm in need of. Where can I find a tiger, Tiger King? Hunt it! I can't figure out how to farm it, so just destroy it. No! Is that a bandit? You don't look like a bandit. Okay, can I find the bandits, please? The wet bandits? Where are the wet bandits at? Somebody tell me. It was you? You looked so kind. Where are you, Z? Where is he? Hi? You know what to do, buddy. What's up, Wingspan? How we doing? Welcome to the stream. Happy you're here. How'd you find us? Welcome in. Are you a big fan of sim games like this? This is my first time ever playing this. It was a totally random recommendation. Wasn't even on my sphere, you know? But now here I am. Do we find her things? What do you think feed means? Surely nothing nefarious. Surely. Been playing this for the past week nonstop. It's amazing. Well, I feel totally overwhelmed by all of the things to do. This is my first run through of the game at all. I'm totally lost. How's the game? It's very deep. It's very deep. It's very full. This game is full. That's the word I'm going to put to it. And they won't check the person. They're all sleeping. So she just gets to sit there and chill for a while. Decompose. I don't even have time to worry about like the secrets and the stuff like that because I am just doing my best to even figure out what's going on. Somebody check her body! Search her! Somebody! Did you search her? She's unconscious. What do you mean? What do you mean she's unconscious? How do I kill her? Why is she not dead? I thought for sure she'd be dead. Where are you? I feel like that was the obvious choice. Now is she dead? Yes. Search her. Lord of mercy. Okay, did we search her? I feel like she's been adequately searched. It is a little aggressive. This game stresses me out. I think it's a good game. I think I like this game. I'm gonna put hides up here for sale. Maybe not. She did start it, indeed. I thought she was a kind old lady. I'm still pretty disappointed about the fact that that happened at all. Okay. Okay. Mushrooms are... the mushrooms have bypassed the wheat at this point. We talk about that? Spoiled meat. Good. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die because I can't find any meat. I can't find any animals. You know what though? For a first go, I'm humbly proud of my 30-day run so far. Something to destroy! Destroy it! Ah! A bull! Destroy it! It's not gonna go well for poor I. Always have your mini-map on. The red dots are aggressive? What? Well, I need to know. I didn't even know that was a thing that I could be doing this entire time. A puppy? Well, yes, adopt him. Do not banish that puppers. Okay, I'm really need everybody to wake up. Chrissy, wake up. Adopt that puppy. Chrissy, wake up. Did I adopt it? Is the puppy mine? Arf, arf. The plants in this field look useful. Let me help fertilize them. Did the
Open the training menu. Here, you can choose to
Did the dog just offer to poop?
the conditions under which the pet performs the behaviors in question.
I don't know. Irrigation? Sure. Okay. I guess pee on my food, dog. Just go ahead. Wow. I mean, don't hesitate. No.
Choosing a pet. Pets have all types of behaviors, some of which are more beneficial.
No. Don't hesitate. You're
Others
good.
Are beneficial for battle, and others
For
still
battle?
less than usual.
Oh man, this changes everything.
You've opened the base stats menu. Here, you can see all of a pet's base stats, battle stats, growth, and the miracles and spells that have or have not
Fascinating.
been unlocked. Here, you can also get information on a pet's current status.
I don't know
so that you
what
can raise it
any
as
of
you
this
see fit.
means. So I guess I can harvest these crops. That's good. What's up? Why can't I do that? Stop with the dog. Stop with the dog. Yes, I'm proud of the dog. I'm proud. Very proud of the boy. I'm proud of you. Now be gone. I often hone my protection. No, you're never going to fight anyone. Occasionally. Yeah, I want you to be very careful about what you do. You're very important to me. Okay? You're very important to me, and it's very important to me that you don't get hurt. If anyone hurts you, I'll hunt them down to the end of the earth. A yogai that has just shapeshifted seeks your protection, hoping to survive heavenly tribulation of shapeshifting with your help. Okay. Where they at? Is that you? Strange, gloomy mood. Is this you? Are you in the new one? Welcome. Welcome in. We love yogai. Oh man, you really felt very welcome, huh? All right, we need 6 beds. Does the dog need a bed? Can I assign the dog a bed? No. Okay, we only need 5 beds. Okay, well that makes me feel better. Let's build another room. Need to build another room, another bed. Ooh, the walls look different. Why do the walls look different? Would the walls mind not looking different, please? Is that an option? What was the floor type I chose? What is this one? Take a look at the scenery, Arf. so intrigued. All right, we got 8 minutes left on stream here. I've made it to 30 days. I think that's something to be proud of, you know? I'm proud of myself. What else will doggo do? Attack clothing? No, don't attack clothing. You're not attacking anything. You're a good boy. If anything, you're going to be defensive, dog. That's at most. I never gave the other person work. Lang, you could help everywhere, or I'll just make your selected tasks first, and then let's build around that, huh? So, hunter, chef, and healer. Honestly, that's plenty. You'll be busy. Let's make you our second designated hunter, and I'm going to make you some kind of weapon. So you need some kind of weapon. Let's make you have a... Oh, no, I have weapons. I have weapons. Let's find you, though. Is that you? No. Your name was Lang. Where are you, Lang? Lang, where are you? I guess you'll find it. I need you to equip a weapon. First I need to find it. Did somebody pick up the weapons? I don't see the weapons. Oh dear. Did we sell the weapons? No, they're right there. I'm gonna have you equip the mace. Nice. Okay, cool. We got another hunter. Well, delightful. Yeah, this game is fun. It's very fun. It's very interesting. It's engaging. It's compelling. I feel like it's a game that you could easily lose hours to. Days to, really. But definitely hours. You could lose a lot of time to this game is what I'm getting at. I feel like I already have. I'm intrigued, or days, or weeks. Who's counting? I think that I'll do much better on my second play. I can't imagine playing this on anything other than PC, I'll say that. I'm gonna eat this bull meat. Don't do it! Okay, that seems a little bit dramatic. But rarely. Let's make it rare, because we really have a tough time finding meat, so... Stop! Well, this is a good one. I guess let's go explore more of the areas. See if we can find any other things. It looks to me like we've pretty well explored everything. Which means that we've killed everything that's alive. Oh, except for this tiger. Fantastic work. Fantastic work, really. Nothing useful. What was that now? Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't want to fight that. I'm gonna say I'm not ready for whatever that is with my measly tools. Super boss. Was that like what I should be working towards? Is that one of my goals? Is eventually defeating the super boss? Fascinating. Super interesting. I'm gonna clear this corner. We're gonna work all the way over there. Because we're probably just about done with this playthrough anyway. Where's the puppy? Very fun, very engaging. So far, I don't know if I necessarily agree with the 9 out of 10, but I've also only played 3 hours of this game, and as I mentioned moments ago, I feel like this game is much longer than 3 hours. A male cat. Can I adopt that cat? I would like that cat to be my friend. Why can't I adopt him? Oh, there's a little love icon down there. No. I'm going to need that cat to be my friend forever. Okay, folks, so we're going to start wrapping up here. We are Checkpoint Church. We're the church for nerds, geeks, and gamers. I am Nerd Pastor Nate, the pastor here of this community. We believe 3 things to be true about every single one of you out there, regardless of whether or not you believe in God, go to church, hate God. None of that stuff changes these 3 things that we believe to be true about every single one of you. Number 1, we believe that God loves you. Number 2, we love you. Number 3, you matter. You're a person of sacred worth. The world is a better place. Why? Because you are in it. Trombone's gonna go find us somebody to raid. I'm gonna go save and figure out how to get out of here. 31 days. 31 days on my first try. I feel like that's pretty good. I feel like that's all right. I feel like you could do worse. Methinks you could do worse on your first go. Maybe I'm dead wrong, but we had fun with it. Folks, we'll be back again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. to talk about our nerdy sermon on Xenoblade Chronicles 3. If you haven't had the chance to join our Discord, be sure to join our Discord, !Discord in the chat for all that goodness. We actually started something new today. We now have a forum for our nerdy sermon chat. So I'm going to be posting the videos when they get posted. And if you want your questions read live during our stream tomorrow morning, that's the best place. Go to that forum, engage in conversation, ask some questions, dive in deeper, engage in the stuff that we're talking about. You don't have to agree with me, just talk about it. So we'll go there first, and then we'll go to YouTube after that and see if there's any more comments on the section there. But that is the place to be. That's the place to check out. !Discord is the best place around. Now we're gonna go find somebody to raid. It looks like Book of Nerds, Chow Fan H. Are they a Chow as in like Sonic? Because I'm a fan of them if that's the case. Are they playing a Sonic game right now? Because if they like Sonic, then they're a friend of mine. They're playing Fortnite. Oh no, they're not. They're playing Disney Dreamlight Valley. Well, if Chow Fan is family friendly, we'll raid them. We'll do that. Chow Fan H. All right. Works for me. Folks, thank you for hanging out with us. Thanks for being a part of this stream. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Again, God loves you. We love you. You matter. Believe those things to be true. All the good stuff happening over on the Discord. My usual spiel. Blah, blah, blah. I'm sick. I'm feeling fine. But I am sick. I'm doing okay. I'm healing. I'm not on the other side yet, but I'd like to be. We're gonna pass it off to our friend here, Chow Fan H. Give them a raid real quickly. So, folks, again, thank you for being here. Thanks for annoying. Thanks for dealing with my annoying voice. I appreciate you and appreciate you sticking around with us. Go spam some You Matters in the chat. Until next time, bye-bye.